All right, guys, I figured it out. And I have a hypothesis, and I really want to explain my hypothesis today. And I want to know what other people think, because I was thinking about this. I was talking with some people from Twitter the other day, and I was like, this makes sense. Like, it was this eureka moment. I put two and two together. I was like, oh my goodness, this equals 4. I finally know why everything money hates growth stocks. Like, I finally get it. I finally understand it. So, why do I think this is true? Now, before I get into it, a couple things at the top. I don't hate these guys. I don't hate their channel. I don't hate what they're doing. I barely know these guys. I listen to their content. I enjoy some of their videos. I enjoy Mo and the other guys. I'm sorry, Seth. I know one of his guys' name, and Paul. Right, Paul. Like I enjoy listening to them and hearing the other perspective outside of growth. And I like hearing the value stuff. And like sometimes they talk about real estate, all that stuff. Cool, right? It's fine. But I finally understand the logical reason why they can't like growth stocks. Now, if you go to their channel, their philosophy for why they don't like growth stocks, which we're talking about Palantirs of the world, Teslas of the world, Amazons of the world, they hate that stuff. Like, they really hate that stuff. They do not like that stuff over there. So much so that one of the guys told the other guys to sell his Tesla at like 600 or something, and that guy missed out on like $1 million. And that guy was pretty upset. And the other guy was like, well, it's not part of your process. And I started laughing because the other guy just looked at him like, man, screw the process. But no, it was really funny. Philadelphia 76ers got to trust the process, right? Even if you lose $1 million on it. Okay, anyway, their philosophy is value investing wins. We don't overpay for growth, and we look at the fundamentals of our company. And that's the philosophy that they try to spread in every video. And they try to have this kind of saint-like attitude towards it. And again, no hate towards them. It's just, I'm trying to understand what they're trying to do. This sort of saint-like approach, which is that you should never overpay for growth, and you should always have this process that you can follow. And they try to say that they're teaching this process. The goal of their channel is education at the end of the day. I don't think they would disagree with this. I'm pretty sure, like, every single video, it's like, hey guys, we're here to teach you something. It's like a teaching vibe. Like, I'm like, on my channel, I cover Palantir, I cover Cathie Wood, the market. I'm here to teach about that and give my analysis and thoughts. Their videos are built to teach people on how to invest in a value investing mindset and process. That's probably objectively they would agree that's the goal of their channel. The problem is you got to go a little bit deeper. These guys are selling a stock analyzer tool for like $30 a month, $1 a day. What does the stock analyzer tool do? I was going to go buy it and see what it does, but there's so many videos of them using it. I was like, I'm not buying this stuff. The tool, basically you put in a stock. It has like a bunch of years of previous financial data. It like automatically loads it up. And they have this 8 pillars tab, right? You click on this 8 pillars. They do this 8 pillars analysis on every single stock they analyze. And it gives you a bunch of these metrics. It gives you 8 metrics. And if some of those metrics are above or under certain numbers, by the way, that are, to me, fundamentally arbitrary, especially in the day and the age that we're living in, but it's their numbers, it's their 8 pillars, it's their recommendations for what the numbers should be under or above, then the stock fails the 8 pillars test. And if it fails a certain number of pillars, that means you don't buy it. And that projection tool software means that it helps you better analyze stocks. You can also put in like some numbers of like, okay, if Tesla were to grow margins by 10%, 15%, and 20% year after year after year, how much would the revenues be worth? And then you can press another button, which is what is the fair value of the stock based upon whatever their analyzer tool does, which highly uses those 8 pillars and the recommendations they built into the software for what the 8 pillars should recommend the stock price to be for a fair value. The goal of each of their videos is to get you to buy that software. Now, this is not a bad thing. They've started a YouTube channel. YouTube is a marketing distribution platform at the end of the day. If you have something you want to sell, then you like put it at the end of the video. You put it in your description, right? Like, that's the point of YouTube. You make videos to reach more people, reach more audiences. YouTube gets the content and you get the attention. And if you can convert some of that attention, you can make some money off of it. The problem, here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. I don't play soccer, but here's the kicker. Their software analyzation tool has no value if you like growth stocks. So if you like growth stocks, you wouldn't buy this tool, and they definitely wouldn't be able to make the content associated with getting you to buy this tool if they themselves liked growth stocks. Now, what do I mean by this? How does this make sense? If you liked a Palantir or a Tesla, let's just use those two examples, and you put it into their stock analyzer tool, And you get all these like red X's because it fails the 8-pillar test, right? And all this stuff. And it's like, it tells you, the tool tells you this stuff is massively overvalued. Then you wouldn't buy Palantir and Tesla. But if you like Palantir and Tesla, then this software analyzer tool is stupid because you're like, well, wait a second. Why do these 8 pillars matter? Why do these metrics matter? Like, why are these numbers the most important that I should care about? And why, if it fails to go under or below this other number, is it an automatic not buy? Growth stocks are valued on different fundamentals. They're not always valued on the PE ratio being under a certain blah, 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 blah. Sometimes they're just valued on, hey, what do we think this company can do in 3 years if this, and this goes right? So with Tesla, if they can open up this factory in China and they can get this much data into their AI, and they can figure out how to increase margins by just a little bit, it's not enough to please Wall Street, but just a little bit, how can the stock price potentially explode, right? Like all of those things aren't factored into some 8-pillar software, some standardized software that has these metrics that gives you an objective yes or no around the stock. You cannot value growth stocks on that paradigm. Those paradigms of values are antithetical to what some of these changing revolutionary companies should be valued upon. The MBAs missed out on Tesla, just like they're missing out on Palantir. I had Sachin Sharma, who is a very, very well-decorated investor, private equity analyst. He has his own consulting firm. He's a geophysicist. He's very long Palantir. He did a great podcast with me on my channel. And he was talking at the end of that the podcast about how he went through an MBA. And he knows what those MBAs think like. And he's like, they don't understand growth. They don't understand potential. They don't understand trajectories and economies of scale and exponential methods by which companies fundamentally alter the nature of the niche that they operate within, capture more than their total addressable market because they end up making different parts of their total addressable market. Like, they don't understand how certain companies operate. Now, most of the time, a lot of Wall Street analysts and MBAs are right on a lot of stocks because a lot of stocks suck. But some of the most amazing stocks, like an Amazon, like a Netflix, like a Tesla, that all these everything money guys missed out on, and they've explicitly said that, and like a Palantir, in my opinion, would fail this growth pillar test, whatever software thing that they use. It wouldn't make any sense. So coming back to their YouTube channel, what is YouTube? YouTube is a marketing distribution platform. You have to build an audience. You have to build a niche. You have to work within the algorithm of YouTube to get more people to discover your content. Well, if they actually like Tesla, let's say they like Tesla, their growth tool would say that Tesla is not something you should buy, which means if they're making videos that are bullish on Tesla, and then they're selling you this software that is supposed to be a values investor fundamental analyzer tool, then the content wouldn't match the sales pitch. Because why would you say Tesla is good, but you're selling me a software that shows that Tesla is quote unquote overpriced? It doesn't make any sense. Same thing for Palantir. This is why when they do analysis videos, I just did a reaction to their Palantir analysis video, it was garbage. And I say that respectfully because you didn't analyze Palantir. You just put it in the title probably for clicks. You didn't really analyze Palantir. You did nothing for it. You said the founder is Peter Thiel and you respect him. And then you said it's overpriced because this S&P 500 beat Palantir over the course of the last year. It's like, how is that a fundamental analysis on even your fundamental numbers? Forget like the actual fundamentals by how you should value Palantir. How have you analyzed anything about this company? And then on top of that, you haven't even taken into account the fact that there are different paradigms by which you need to evaluate something like a Tesla or a Palantir. They did none of that analysis. That entire 11-minute video was 2 minutes of Palantir's overpriced and then 8 minutes of a Charlie Munger quote that they analyzed. And then the last 3 minutes was like how you can day trade Palantir, which also blows my mind because I'm like, if you're supposed to be a long-term value investor, why are you telling people how to day trade Palantir? And then you go deeper and it's like, oh, because they sell like some day trading program. So again, none of this is to hate on these guys. These guys are like cool. I like listening to them. It's whatever, they make their money. They have their hustle. They keep saying they have 8 or 9 businesses upstairs that make them a lot of money, which is interesting because they're spending a lot of time on YouTube and they're putting a lot of hustle on YouTube. So I always question like, all right, how much money are you guys really making? Because you got a lot of time for YouTube. But no, that's just a joke. I'm pretty sure they're making a lot of money. It seems like these guys are very successful, but it's very weird that they hate all these growth stocks. And as you go through their channel, you're just like, Well, they just hate everything. And it's like, are they trying to define a niche on YouTube and be the anti-growth, anti-Kathy Wood, whatever, because they know that'll help them stick out? Maybe. And that's a possible method. And I have no problem with that, right? Find your own niche, find your own content, and then deliver to your audience. That's how YouTube works. That's how content works. But the problem is when I started going through their videos and really understanding what they're doing here, I started realizing none of their content makes sense if none of their content can ever be bullish on some of these growth stocks, because this sales analyzer, this stock analyzer tool isn't valuable to a growth investor. So to me, the only way they have a business with their software analyzer tool is if they hate growth stocks. Like, am I totally off on this? I really don't think I'm off on this. Again, I'm going to make the syllogism to make it make sense. They sell a software tool. They want to make money off the software tool. Cool. They put out content. Content drives traffic to the software tool in order for people to buy it so they can make money. Cool. In order for the software tool to be valuable, people, based on their content, need to value stocks in a optimistically conservative mindset, I think they would call that, and also value them for long-term returns, and also not overpay for growth. I mean, that's their big thesis, not overpay for growth. So if people need to use the software tool that they found through their optimistically conservative content to remind them when they put in a stock in the fancy tool to not overpay for growth, then that means that the stocks or the people that you're attracting to buy this product can't like growth stocks, because that tool will not make any sense if you try to analyze a growth stock. Those fundamentals are not fundamental to growth stocks, which means the content that you create, i.e. the videos you put out, have to be anti-growth stocks in order for you to sell more of the software. So I think I cracked it. I think that's why Everything Money hates growth stocks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, this is not meant to be like mean or aggressive to these guys. It's really not. Again, I enjoy some of their content. And they react to a lot of other YouTubers, and I think I've seen them a little bit more aggressive and mean. I think Paul or whatever like called Meet Kevin like an absolute idiot or something when they were reacting to their Tesla valuation. So like, I don't even think I went that far. I don't even think I made that many ad homs in this video. I just genuinely think this is why they hate growth stocks, because their business depends on them hating growth stocks. Now, do they also probably hate growth stocks for a bunch of other reasons, and because like they really do believe in this like value investment hypothesis, even though the entire world is changing over the next 10 years and like companies that are actually going to win are going to be the ones that are at the forefront of that change? Sure, they probably do believe in that just genuine value investing philosophy, and that's the process they're sticking in for life. I think they all genuinely believe in that. My point is there is never a possibility for them to think another way as long as their YouTube videos are built to sell this software tool. Because if they do, the software has no value.